You know, the president is fond of saying that no one gets everything they want in a negotiation. And frankly, I agree with that. Nobody gets everything they want. But over the course of the last 10 days, we've been trying to have conversations with our Democrat colleagues. They don't want to talk. The president doesn't want to talk. We've tried to offer bills that would reopen parts of the government, only to have them rejected by our counterparts over in the United States Senate. So what we want to do is to offer the president today the ability to move a temporary increase in the debt ceiling, in agreement to go to conference on the budget, for his willingness to sit down and discuss with us a way forward to reopen the government and to start to deal with America's pressing problems. Listen, it's time for leadership. It's time for these negotiations and this conversation to begin. And I would hope that the president will look at this as an opportunity and a good faith effort on our part to move halfway to what he's demanded in order to have these conversations begin.
You know, the American people expect both sides to sit down and work out their differences when you're operating in divided government. So I'm pleased today that we've had an invitation from the White House to actually begin to do that. And, you know, we have seen now for 10 days a government shutdown. It's not what we asked for. It is what was the result of the two parties not being able to sit down and talk. And there is very little time left. We cannot waste any more time. What we have discussed as a conference is a temporary extension of the debt ceiling in exchange for a real commitment by this president and the Senate Majority Leader to sit down and talk about the pressing problems that are facing all the American people. And that includes a broad array of issues. And we look forward to that happening. And if you look throughout history, presidents who have governed in a divided government have all sat down and talked with the other side. It's about time this is happening.
I'm very hopeful for today. This is something that Republicans have been waiting quite some time for. We never wanted to shut down. That's why our very last bill said, let's go to conference. So that door has always been open, and we're thankful that the president is willing to talk today. We're coming there with an idea of working together. We're coming there to find common ground that will deal with these economic drivers that harm the economy, the drivers that continue to add debt. So when we make an offer today for a temporary extension, we're looking for a structure that puts us on a path to get a budget, to take care of the debt, and move this economy in a stronger position and have all American win. A little common sense for the rest of the country.
All right, I'll take a couple of questions.
Mr. Speaker, now that you're undertaking this plan on the debt ceiling, what do you need in order to reopen the full government?
That's a conversation we're going to have with the president today. I don't want to put anything on the table. I don't want to take anything off the table. That's why we want to have this conversation.
Mr. Speaker, what are the disagreements that will prevent us from being in the exact same place in 6 weeks?
Well, clearly, you could end up back in the same place, and we don't want to be there. Listen, I think the president wants to deal with America's pressing problems just as much as we do. But in order to deal with these pressing problems, we've got to sit down and have a conversation that leads to a negotiation that begins to solve these problems for the future and for, frankly, our kids and our grandkids.
Last question. Speaker, will you reopen the government if the president doesn't agree to do anything to change Obamacare?
If ands and buts were candy and nuts, every day be Christmas.
Right here.